It's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats. Those aren't fans, those are trolls, and it's a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization, the WNBA. But there are a lot of really good fans, whether they've been fans for 20 plus years or whether they're new fans in our league. I think continuing to uplift this league in a very positive light is the best thing that we can do, because there are so many great players, there's so many great teams, there are so many positive storylines that can be written and celebrated. And for me, that's why I became a fan of this league, is these people were my idols. I grew up wanting to be like them. So I think continuing to uplift and represent this league in a positive way is the best thing that we can do.
All right, what's good, everybody? It's your boy ShawnFromNVY back with another video. Now, before I get into today's video, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to this channel. We're now sitting at 1,836 subscribers. This would not be possible without you guys subscribing to this channel. So everyone who has taken the time to subscribe to this channel, I want to thank you. Everyone who took the time to watch these videos to the end, I thank you. Just want to make sure I let you guys know I'm very much appreciative for every way you support this channel. It does not go unnoticed. Now, let's get into today's video. I'm a little late doing this video, but I don't mind being late doing videos. Sometimes I let things sit for a little while. I want to see how things play out. Now, I saw this clip of Jonquel Jones talking to the Pivot podcast about racism in the WNBA. I was at work this weekend, got bills to pay. I couldn't get this video done the way I wanted to. I didn't want to rush this video. I wanted to sit on this video for a while to make sure I digested this correctly. Now, a few days done passed by. I'm ready to give you guys my thoughts, but just in case you guys haven't seen this clip, so let me play this clip and then I'll come back and give you guys my thoughts on what I think about what was said.
Speaking of relationships, Alyssa Thomas, one of the best hoopers in all of the WNBA, does absolutely everything. During the playoffs, she spoke out and condemned racism. They're playing, and obviously the Fever fans were being the Fever fans.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that she was willing, in front of the press and the media, to condemn racism. And she said, and now it's on the officials. I've told you what it is. Have you ever had any encounters with things like that since you've been in the WNBA?
No, never. I don't know, I feel like I think a lot of the fans, like the Caitlin Clark fans, I think they wanted to latch on to Caitlin Clark and then use her as, this fuel to be able to be the way that they wanted to be, And I think that's why there was such big backlash when she liked the whole Taylor Swift post saying vote for Kamala Harris, because they want her to be the representation of their racism and their view on the world, and she's not like that. And I think you have to be careful when you say the Fever fans, because I don't think it's the Fever fans. I think it's the people that wanted Caitlin Clark to be a certain type of way and they thought that she was, and so they became Caitlin Clark fans, assuming that, and then they realized oh no, she's actually not racist. And so now they have to kind of backtrack and try to find somebody else that can kind of embody the things that they feel. But yeah, no player should have to deal with that. No player should be in any type of situation where they feel their life is in danger, or that someone wants to harm them because of the color of their skin, or harm them in general. So it's crazy that they had to deal with that. And I hope that the WNBA gets it in order and make sure that they have things in place, because no one wants to play in a situation like that. I don't think it's fair to the players.
Now, I want to assume that everyone who at least heard this clip, heard the question presented, and heard her answer, has at least average comprehension skills. And I say that respectfully. Now, in this clip, what she said was pretty much what she said there is what I've been saying on this channel ever since I've been covering the WNBA and Caitlin Clark. You have a set of Caitlin Clark fans who are core Caitlin Clark fans. They love her game. They love her personality. They love everything that she stands for. You have those right here. And in that bunch, it's sprinkled around a few people who thought that Caitlin Clark shared the same views that they shared politically and racially. And when they found out that she didn't share those same views about other players' sexuality, other players' races, other players' whatever, when these few sprinkled in bunch found out that Caitlin Clark was not about what they were about, which is racism, homophobia, and all that other good jazz, they turned on her. If you don't believe me, Kev on stage, funny comedian guy, real good guy, shout out to him, posted on his Twitter. This is way back September 12th, 2024. Them folks in Caitlin Clark's IG comments withdrawing their support for her because she liked Taylor Swift's post endorsing Kamala Harris. Now, y'all told me if y'all was a fan of somebody because they played good ball, all the other stuff didn't matter. Y'all told me y'all real fans. Y'all told me y'all are here because y'all are fans of Caitlin Clark. Y'all told me that's why y'all came to the WNBA, because you've been following her for years. And some of you have, some of you have not. Like Jones just said, some of you saw an opportunity. Some of you saw this straight white woman who was winning games, who was beating all these black players. And like I say, a hit dog gonna holler. If this is not you, you should not be mad. If anything, if this is not you, you should be happy that someone's calling out the fake fans in your fan base that's making your fan base look bad. If you were a real Caitlin Clark fan, you would be doing this. I can spot when a person is a real fan of that person versus when a person is just using that person in disguise to get their own shit off. Y'all never heard of that saying, the wolf in sheep's clothing? Let me read some of the comments that were in Caitlin Clark's comments that Kev on stage screenshotted and posted. Simple Twin Dad, peace emoji, just threw away my jersey, Trump 2024. Unga the Great, I noticed you liked Taylor Swift's endorsement post for Camellia and Tampon Tim. I figure you were more based and aware. Bummer. Just play basketball and build your brand, a brand that the entire country can love. Stay out of politics. Your brand will suffer. You are young. Ask your friends or families for advice. Definitely should have stayed out of politics, Caitlin Clark. Loved watching you, but now I refuse after seeing you support Taylor Swift and Kamala Harris. Please don't get sucked into politics. Taylor Swift is fully endorsing candidates that want to allow children to be surgically and chemically treated to change their bodies permanently without parental consent. Do your own research. Think she's a phenomenal entertainer and talent otherwise. Not too bad. That's your view. And that view may be what it is, because I don't get into politics on the channel. I don't get into politics because that's my own private business, as well as it should be yours. We lost another great baller. One of the best I've seen as a woman. Only started watching because of her outstanding skills, but now she's involved in politics of the Democrats. I'm moving on to something else. Here's another one. You're a female athlete. Why would you support a party that's allowing men to play in women's sports? You just couldn't keep your politics out of sports. You have just lost millions of supporters. Trump 2024. Dang, supported you when all the liberal WNBA players were against you, but can't support someone who's voting for Kamala, whose policies will hurt the future generation's ability to own a house or get a high-paying job. It's more, was just starting to finally pay some attention to the WNBA because somebody was actually worth watching, then you caved. This is the funniest one. Bae, why you a Democrat? It's here, like this is the proof. Y'all asked me in comments, what was the proof of racism? What was the proof of fake fans, whatever? Dog, this is just one tweet. I haven't even went into the actual comments of this thread. Look at this. The WNBA is 70% black, 40% gay. Everyone paying attention would have known that she wasn't a hardened conservative just because she was white from Iowa. All her friends in the WNBA are gay, and she stays running around with Erica Wheeler and allegedly Kate Martin is gay. I'm just saying, hey, the evidence is out here. Look at this. Not real fans. I like Caitlin Clark, but some of her supporters are weird. This is back in September, y'all. They turned on her. Jonquel Jones is saying is not wrong. It's fact. She has a lot of fans, and in her huge fan base are a lot of people who thought that she supported the same agenda or same things that they wanted her to support. And when they found out that she does not support homophobia, when they found out that she does not support racism, when they found out what her political views was, and that's not even to say what her political views are. I've known her to like Taylor Swift. Now let's just say this. This is the most I'm gonna give you guys of my political views. And take it for how you will. I'm not on either side of the aisle. Nobody owns me. No blue party, no red party, nobody owns me. The way I will vote on November 5th, it's the way that I've always voted. The way I wanna vote. And your vote is your vote. I would never tell anyone who to vote for, what party to vote for, who not to vote for, what party not to vote for. That's your vote. You as an American citizen who has the privilege to vote should vote however you want to vote. And you should not be demonized. You should not be judged. You should not be hated according to however you want to vote for yourself. Vote in the best interest for yourself. I don't endorse nobody. I endorse God. That's the only person at the end of the day I answer to, God. So if you're telling me that these same fans that y'all was telling me the Fever fans are not racist, the Fever fans are not bigots, the Fever fan this and that, well, why did they turn on her when she just liked the post? Why did they say, yo, I'm getting rid of my jersey? I no longer want to watch the game and all, but you were a fan of her gameplay. You was a fan of her skill. Her skill should have nothing to do with anything going on in your personal life. If you come in to tell me that she done any kind of harm to somebody, whether she done something bad to kids, whether she took somebody's life, yeah, then people like that I can no longer support. But if that woman has not harmed anyone, why does it matter what tweet she like? Why does it matter who she hangs with in the locker room? Why does it matter who she hangs with in her off-season time? This is what I've been trying to say for the longest, and now people are starting to say it. I know y'all ain't this naive to not be able to see the racism, the bigotry, the hateful stuff that people say online in the name of being a Caitlin Clark or a Fever fan. Now, is there racism in the sport, period? Is racism in every sport. It's hate in every sport. It's bigotry in every sport. But why are we just talking about it now? Because she's that big. She's that big that you can't ignore it. She's that big that any sane person that has two eyes that can comprehend and understand undertones, some folks don't even care. They just be blatant and blunt with it. It sucks because a lot of the content creators that I watch now, I watch a lot of the Caitlin Clark content, I watch a lot of the Fever content, WNBA content, and it's like they're being sucked into the whole narrative of trying to prove that there's no racism, and if it is any racism, it's only a one-way racism. It doesn't work like that. And I'm losing a lot of respect for these folks, man. I don't have the following that they have. I don't have the numbers they have. I don't care. A part of it has me thinking they only doing it for the numbers or for the check. And that right there tells me that you lack integrity. If you're only doing videos to race bait or incite folks of potential racism, you lack integrity, because now all you're doing is pushing a narrative, and that narrative can harm people who have nothing to do with anything, instead of breaking down the science of what's really going on in this WNBA atmosphere. Yes, there's racism in it. Yes, there's bigotry in it. Yes, there's homophobia in it. Yes, there's hate in it. And like I say, if you're a real Caitlin Clark fan, you would want those people out of your fan base. If you are a real Fever fan, you will want those people out of your fan base. If you are a real women's basketball fan, whether the college or pros, you would not want that kind of person in your audience. You wouldn't want that kind of person in nobody's fan base. Why would you want a person in your fan base that's spreading hate, that's spreading division, that's spreading homophobia, that's spreading racism? And if you don't call it out, you're complicit. And you can't be mad when they label all because of some. Because you could have got rid of the few that was making your fan base look bad.